Steve Moramarco is the leader of the band The Abe Lincoln Story, and he had a very particular idea of how he wanted Terrifying World to start.
First, it's just a kick in the bass, menacing, maybe a heartbeat, and then the music is basically a surprise.
The song was written in the aftermath of a terrorist attack, and we'll be talking about that and a lot more on today's episode of Tell Me About Your Song.
Some could say it's a musical act of terror, like it doesn't sound like it's going to sound like that. Does that make any sense?
Hello, and welcome to Tell Me About Your Song, the podcast where I talk to musicians and songwriters about a song they've written. Today I'm talking to Steve Moramarco of The Abe Lincoln Story, and the song that he'll be talking about is named Terrifying World and is from the album Kings of the Soul Punk Swing. So where do you want to start, Steve?
You may have noticed that the first line is grammatically incorrect. It should be, it's a terrifying world in which we're living, or in which we're living, or, not in which we live in is very poor grammar. And as the son of an English professor, it was a little embarrassing, especially my father. The first time he heard it, he was like, that's not grammatically, he kind of scolded me a little bit, and I was like, well, hey, rock and roll knows no grammar.
Was it an intentional reference to that Paul McCartney song, or?
But if this ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in and cry, say live and let die.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I didn't even think about that. I stole it from friggin'. I do that a lot. Mm-hmm. Steal like a line from a rock and roll song. I just wrote a song that has "She couldn't be a minute over 17." So it's always fun to throw in a rock and roll reference like that, intentional or not. It felt right. That's why it must have felt right. And yeah, it's the same kind of, bombastic song. I mean, I'm going to say Live and Let Die is a little more cheesy, but hey, but same kind of terror, die, living, dying. Sure, yeah, exactly. The immediate part of it was kind of written right after 9/11 or near 9/11, where I came up with the mantra part at the end. But I was living in New York during September 11th, and it was terrifying. Taking the subway, I had to take the L train under the East River, several times a day after that. I mean, everybody was like, hey, you got to go back to normal. I was like, And then, it just, something kicks in, and I thought to myself, don't fear life. You can be afraid to die. That's no way to live. I'm in New York. What am I going to do? I mean, I got to take the subway. Then if you start really thinking about all the real and imaginary threats that surround us every day, I mean, you'll just become a blob of jelly and not move forward. So then that's where I said, fear death, don't fear life. That was the mantra that went in my head.
You can be afraid to die. We're all afraid to die.
So I put that on, and then I, tried to make the little voiceover sound a little cheesy-ish, or like Eric Burden, War. I dreamed I was in a Hollywood movie, just very like simple, matter of fact. And then we just do the big build it up, and bam, we're out. That's it.
It's a terrifying world. Don't fear life. It's
when did you finish writing it?
That was back in LA. I'm going to say it must have been written around 05 or 06. It just kind of came together with the, I had the coda, and then I had the kind of the beginning, and then I needed to, think of the lyrics, and then I wanted, kind of slogany things that sound good and that are kind of more real, truthful things. Peace now. I mean, that's important, but people just say, I don't want to die. I just want to get high. I don't want to be afraid. I just want to get laid and paid, right? Those are two criteria.
I don't want to be afraid. I just want to get laid and paid.
It's just kind of interesting to me. Like the chorus kind of sounds like a verse, and the verse kind of sounds like a chorus. And
Yeah. And I believe that's the way it had to be explained to the band. I'm like, no. It's like a language thing. It's more like a feeling, right? I mean, it's not, because clearly the chorus technically is the part that repeats over and over again.
It's a terrifying world in which we live in. Bad things happen every day. Let me hold you in my arms and let me sing you this song. Everything is going to be okay.
But I can see what people are saying when the way the music is and whatever, that it almost could be a verse. And the rhythm was kind of supposed to be like Peace Frog, blood in the streets, up to my ankles, like the Doors. That was kind of a thing. But they're basically playing a chart, so that we had to explain it. No, it's chorus, verse, chorus, or whatever. The verses are the chorus and the chorus is the verse. And then we go into the verse that should be a chorus, and it's, again, I think it's supposed to just be so rocking and heavy that people are, that's what if I was at a protest rally or whatever, that's a sign I might want to hold up is, I don't want to die, I just want to get high and fly away, maybe,
I feel like those signs are out there.
Yeah, I think so. I was hoping to sell some, merchandise it or make some T-shirts. If you want to, I don't want to die, I just want to get high T-shirt, email me. But I think I made, in a sense, the serious part of the song, quote unquote, comes in at the end, and even that's semi-tongue-in-cheek. But the message is, I think of a lot of middle America, the nuclear family, and, then the black hand of terror reaching out towards, a city, so, those kinds of things. And then, again, it's the idea is to banish them away at the end.
I mean, I feel like this is something you do in other songs as well, where there's kind of a connection between these kind of bigger things and then something kind of mundane,
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's it. Kind of the comic, cynical response is what I'm, maybe even the truthful response. What we're really thinking is, the only reason why we don't want to die in a nuclear war, I want to shop, keep shopping for more. I'm being the American consumer or whatever. Remember 9/11, it was like, okay, you could die any second, but hey, don't worry, just go back to your normal life. Go shop, go to baseball games. It's like you're living in this dichotomy of this weird world where the verse is the chorus and the chorus is the verse. Everything's backwards.
Yeah, the old if you don't keep shopping, the terrorists win kind of mentality.
I don't wanna die in a nuclear war. I just want to go to the store. I don't wanna die in a nuclear war. I said I just want to go to the store.
is there anything that you would want to say about the chordal structure of the song?
I would like to say that what I kind of like about it is that it, I can't tell you the, dominant seventh and all that, but it basically alternates between going, it has both the F sharp and the F minor in it. So it's kind of like the verse is very, every day, and then, but it also has the G sharp. So it kind of has a lot of weird half-steppy things in it, in the middle of just A, D, E, D, E, E, A. It has the, I don't want to die in a nuclear war, the F sharp there. I just want to go to the store. And then N sharp for more. So I like that it kind of creeps around those chords, the F sharp, the F minor, the G sharp, and the G. It just kind of makes it, a little more weird. And then the coda is totally, has a nice sort of F minor, whatever 7 is it, I think it is. That was just, just very simple. So that's sort of the pacifying chord.
Yeah, that last section in particular, you could just repeat those chords forever and you have a nice little soul song.
It's one of those songs, just when you thought it was done, no, we got the coda.
Yeah.
So it was, kind of a meaty number.
So if people want to hear more of your music, I know that sounds like you got a couple bands going on.
Yeah, I got right now basically doing Superbean for the most part. You could go to abelincolnstory.com or superbean.bandcamp.com. You find most of it there. YouTube, a lot of stuff there. You can email me, I also have a movie that I did called The Great Intervention. I shot for $5,000 about 4 or 5 years ago now. It's on YouTube. You can look up The Great Intervention and Moramarco. It features music by the Abe Lincoln Story.
And if people want to see you perform, the dates are on the websites and things like that?
Yeah, basically I perform around the Los Angeles area pretty much, unless, some rich millionaire wants to fly in for their birthday. No problem. Just, again, we're accepting all offers.
All right. If people want to hear my music, you can go to music.jwgh.org and check that out. And I also have a website for this project, this podcast, tellmeaboutyoursong.com. I'll also put links to all of Steve's websites and things in the show notes for this episode, which will be at yoursongpodcast.tumblr.com, TUMBLR.com. And with all that said, we're going to go out and listen to the entire song we've been talking about, Terrifying World, performed by the Abe Lincoln Story and written by Steve Moramarco, and from the album Kings of the Soul Punk Swing. Thanks for listening.
It's a terrifying world in which we live in. Bad things happen every day. Let me hold you in my arms and then I'll sing you this song. Everything is going to be okay. It's a terrifying world in which we live in. Bad things happen every day. Let me hold you in my arms and let me sing you this song. Everything is going to be okay. I said, just human nature. But when you become so afraid of dying that it interferes with your life, well, that's not really looking. So we suggest to you, don't fear life. Don't fear life. It's a terrifying world. Don't fear life. It's a terrifying world. But don't fear life. It's a terrifying world. But don't fear life.
Hello, Jacob.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
I can. Can you hear me? All right.
Yep. I thought I'd, put you on the speaker with the guitar in case we needed to reference some
Yeah, that's great.
more dramatic sounds.
You're a little quiet now.
Oh, sorry. I was just muttering to myself.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here now.